Mom, why you keep calling me? I'm in the movie theater. Bro, you're talking about.
Going to the movies sucks. And the truth is that I love going to the movies, but unfortunately, I no longer enjoy going to the movies. Since you don't know me and I've just restarted this channel, let me give you a bit of background on who I am and why I love movies so much. When I was a kid, a little kid, my mother used to always offer me an option. Have a gathering with your friends from school, which I didn't have any, or go with her to the movies. I used to always choose to go with her to the movies because I was afraid that people wouldn't show up. I feel like that's a kind of normal fear for a child to have. But also, I enjoyed going. I enjoyed going with my mother. I enjoyed spending that time with her, and it became something that we would bond over and we would save up for, and we would just have a great time. And when I became an adult and I started making my own money, I started taking my mother to the movies where we could see things that we like, that we connected over, like Star Trek or Sherlock Holmes. But lately, my mother hasn't been interested in coming with me to the movies. Partially, it's the cost. Even though I will pay, it is expensive. Secondly, it's the fact that she's just not physically comfortable being in or going to the theater. People are loud and inconsiderate, yes. Concessions are expensive, yes. But even worse, the chairs suck. Even worse, the screens aren't even. And also, even worse, a lot of people don't even think about accessibility in public spaces. But the truth is that we will all become disabled. Those small, narrow, uncomfortable seats are made for a person. They're made to fulfill the bare minimum. And honestly, we just can't accept that anymore. We just can't accept that we just aren't allowed to be comfortable. And when my 55-year-old mother goes and sits in a chair and it's too small for her, and she's a small woman, you know, it's tiny. And when the chairs are too close to the ground, for her, when they're too high up in the ground, for me, that could hurt your knees permanently or your back. And you know, my mother doesn't even use a cane anymore. Could you imagine being a person who needs a cane, who has any kind of physical disability that isn't a wheelchair? This is a reflection of the way that these companies run their businesses. Most people aren't me, right? And are willing to wait for a movie to come out, as opposed to be uncomfortable and unsafe. And so the only people who go to theaters are the ones who are willing to be uncomfortable. And so they don't respect the theater because the theater does not respect them. And that's not even to get into the accessibility options that don't work. They have those like little closed caption devices. They don't work. The limited screenings for burned in closed captions on the screen, very few. And honestly, the pure refusal by local and state legislatures to encourage businesses to have their patrons wear masks, especially in confined spaces, which makes it hard for immunocompromised people to go. The truth is, movies aren't going away or dying because movies aren't good anymore. They're struggling because a large segment of the general population cannot go. Imagine again for a moment a screening where the volume is not as loud or the screen is not so bright. Just imagine closed caption devices that actually work. I don't know how to fix this, or that this is something that I can fix. But maybe if we reach out to our local theaters, we complain until they fix what's happening, they'll know that people who are disabled and immunocompromised cannot go. Because the people that I know, they have to travel far to go to a theater that's comfortable. And if you're listening to and while watching this and you think, wow, you know what? That doesn't really affect me. It will. Time comes for us all. We all get old. We're all gonna get hurt. Accidents happen. We are fragile beings. You're included in this. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have you been to a movie? What was the last thing you've seen? And I hope that this is the kind of thing that we can get fixed. Love you. Bye.